Hello and welcome to Headlines with Delicia. I am Delicia. In today's video, I have one of those reminders of how substance abuse is not of good in a relationship. Or have you ever been in a relationship where your partner is so in denial that they have a problem with alcohol or other drugs or substances? Today we have that reminder. Tune in and come. All right, let's get into the story. I'm gonna read with you here, or you read with me rather. Shout out to Kaya FM for this amazing story here. So Anonymous wrote or called in. Listen, last month my girl and I went out and she got drunk. This was embarrassing and it was a first time meeting my close friends. We both drink, but she overdoes it. Now, like he said, this is very embarrassing. You can only imagine taking your partner with you to meet your inner cycle, your other people in your cycle, and then they have no self control, no self respect for themselves as well. Like they don't have that in them. That's so very embarrassing and very inconsiderate, very immature of her to do that. Because besides respecting your partner, you have to respect yourself. And ultimately, once she behaves this way, the friends are not going to respect her. The next day, I told her she needed to know her limits as this will compromise her more so when I'm not around her. Yeah, we have been fighting about this ever since. Likely, she finally conceded to my demands and agreed to watch her drinking. Okay. Just last weekend, she did it again, and that was the final straw for me. Her friend called to say I must come to fetch her as she was sloshed. I was furious and I refused to go. You have no idea how much it's embarrassing to drink to a point where you can't even help yourself. You're self destructing yourself at this point, and if you can't help yourself, how are other people supposed to help you? Like, how are they going to help you if you fail to even take care of yourself, regardless of gender, whether you're a man or a woman? But honestly, it's so disappointing, embarrassing to drink to a point where you can't even help yourself. People need to come through to help you. So disappointing, very disappointing. And it's so self-destructing because you cannot be of use to other things in your life because you're so focused to drinking to a point where you can't even help yourself. You don't even remember the events. You don't remember the things you possibly said or doing. Very distracting behavior. And worse, this is where the relationship comes to be in a stressful situation because you you highlight your the things that you're not pleased with them, and then they somehow act like they agree with that they will stop or they will watch their behavior, but instead they just agree to disagree, or they agree in that moment so that this conversation can just be over and done with, knowing exactly that they're going to go back to their old poor habits, that they're not of good use to the relationship as a whole, and also not good to themselves. As like, it's just too bad. And you're not doing this for the next person, but for yourself. And what's so disappointing also with the world that we're living in today, women get kidnapped and whatnot, and her drinking to a point where she can't help herself. It's very disappointing. It just goes to show that she does not respect herself. She doesn't value herself. She does not love herself. She just do not understand what is self-love, self-care, protecting yourself as well. She doesn't get that. She didn't get the memo when it comes to that. And what do you even do as a partner when you get called out, oh, your partner here just drunk out, like she or he was drinking, and then they had too much, they can't help them, so just come through to help them. Like, are you for real? Now that's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing, and If it happened once, maybe you can cut them a slack and give them a chance. But if it happens again, no, like no, you just don't do that. Like you just cannot. I remember there's this like there's a certain limit of drinking that you just have to know as an adult. More of like drinking responsibly, of which is something she's not doing. Because if you're a woman, let's say you have a household, how are you gonna take it off your household when you are drunk and you can't help yourself? And then if you're a man, how are you gonna provide? I mean, protect your household if you're just going out there drink and then they come fetch you to come and throw you to just sleep. You're not even self-aware or aware of your environment. So as a man, how are you gonna protect your family when you're just there drunk to a point that you can't even help yourself? It's very distracting, and it's not about you only, it's affecting even the people around you. That's why you need to be that much thoughtful. Now let's continue and hear how it really unfolded. This man is just tired of her, which is fair. She slept over at her friend's, and when she came back, she was mad at me, saying I do not care about her. Firstly, she went back on her word to stop drinking. Secondly, she insisted that she does not have a drinking problem. Look at this. You remember when I said she agreed to disagree? She agreed to just have this conversation to be done and over with, because she knows exactly she will go. You see, this is what I was referring to. She agreed, but still, excuse me, she went back to do the same things that, like drinking over her current capacity. So she overdid that, which is not good. Whereas she does not take a response. You see, this kind of people, that those types you just do not have to associate yourself with. What do you mean you go out there to drink to a point where you can't help it? It's not like she was what do you call, her drink was spiked or poison, whatever you call it. It's not the case. It's not, she was drinking very much aware, and it was not her first time. She has been doing this over and over again, meaning she's very, very, very much aware of her behavior. And on top of that, he highlighted this to her, but what, she just goes on and do it anyway because she knows better. So the best thing, personal, I think, is to just leave it alone, because she does not see the impact of this whole thing. She does not take responsibility. She's still blaming the guy. Like, what is wrong with her? Why is she blaming the guy, honestly? You can't just go there and act recklessly and expect another person to come rescue you. And once they do not do that, you come back to blackmail them. Like, what is wrong with you? You just do not do that. And thirdly, she still insists that she does not have a drinking problem. How do you help such a person? How do you, like, it's it's just so heavy. It's too consuming emotionally and mentally for the guy, because today she agrees, tomorrow she disagrees. She once agreed that she will stop drinking, meaning she was very much aware and agreeing that I do have a problem, I'm drinking a lot. And then today she goes back to her way, saying that she does not have a drinking problem. Girl, what is wild? You need to make up your mind. Like, this is so disturbing. And I don't understand why this guy keeps on availing himself to resolve this issue. Like, why is that? You just have to leave these people alone. You just cannot help someone who refuses to be helped. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You don't do that. You just leave them alone. Because at first you did highlight your issue, and then she was like, I'll stop drinking. But she went on to continue. Like, you just stop doing that. Like, you don't do that. No. I told her that since she wouldn't stop drinking, then I will have to remove myself. I know I am being hard on her, but something has to give. Am I going about this the wrong way? Could this borderline be considered controlling? What could be my blind spot? I don't like people who self doubt to this extent, because I believe when you enter a relationship, you have boundaries and non-negotiables. So if you find that they have crossed your boundary, why are you still availing yourself at the table to negotiate how you want to be disrespected? Because this is literally that you are just sitting there to negotiate. You can just disrespect me this less. You can disrespect me this way. No, you don't do that. You literally do not do that. And some things are not worth sitting around to discuss. That's my main point that I'm sending across. Not everything deserves to sit down and discuss it out. Some things are better left unexplained. You know, she's a grown up. The point here is she's a grown up, and you still doubting yourself that you're being hard on her. What is being hard on her? She's not a 5-year old. Come on now. Like, there's no such thing. You cannot just abuse yourself like this. And it's not solely about the guy, even the girl, the lady. Why is she doing this to herself? She goes out to drink there, forgetting about protecting yourself. You can't drink to a point where you can't even protect yourself. The world is so ruthless, and you just choose to avail yourself there, drink, and forget about yourself. Drink to a point where you can't even help yourself. You don't do that, and you want to play the blaming game when someone like your partner doesn't come to help you. You don't do that. People have responsibilities, okay? You are not the only existing thing in this world or in their life. They have other responsibilities to take care of, to just come out of nowhere to help you. Just take responsibility and help yourself, find help. And for the guy, it's safe to say you can leave this relationship, honestly. But if you feel like you're still gonna give it another chance, so be it. It's up to you and down to us. I don't know what you think, you at home or you, my viewer there. Tell me what you think in the comment section. If you found this video helpful, please do like. If you have not, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss any episode that I'll be posting in the future, because here we wrap it up all around relationships, dating, marriage, and all family. We have it all here. Until then, let me love and leave you while you take care of yourself.